Aren't we just packing the videos in today, eh? Or pushing them out? One of those things. So the canvas is fully attached to this side. So the next stage I do, because remember, I don't shape the apron, the front apron, until the end. And the reason for that is, again, when you're sewing these pleats, as careful as you may be, if you're one yarn over too wide here and there, after a while it adds up, and it can change whether the apron is going to be too big or not, right? So again, I start as if I was measuring that other video I put out about will that eBay kilt fit you. We start measuring at the seam of the inner apron, 2.5 inches down. So we're measuring in a line which will later be where the straps and buckles are. So from there, and even though this is straight, or pretty much straight, I'm still bringing it around in the little bit of radius there is. Put my thumb down at the edge of where the seam is going to be. Bring the tape out firmly, because looking at my sheet, this fellow has a 38-inch waist. Well, there's 38. So I'm reaching for my chalk, marking it there. And then, let's not lose his measurements right away. There's my chalk measurement. I'm just lifting up and I'm transferring the chalk measurement to the canvas. Now I'm not going to cut there. I'm going to extend it that little bit, right? Where did my tape go? Here's my tape. This one wound up being about a 4-inch overlap. So I'm going to go for 4 inches because I can always shorten it later. Putting cloth back on again is a bit more of an ordeal. Okay, out come the shears, being paranoid about not cutting the tartan cloth. Okay, this is almost as far as I can take it in this video, because looking ahead, what I'm going to do now, later on, I'm going to do the same trick that I did here. I'm going to fold it, mark it, cut it, as I did previously. That goes back on the shelf, or in that case on the floor. I'll pick it up in a minute. But having marked that, we've accomplished two things here. One, I've been able to accurately show how long this canvas should be, so I can cut the rest of the roll off and put it away. So I'm not wrestling with the roll and having it go to the floor and unroll and have to roll it up again. But secondly, I know what my apron the apron width actually will be at the waist, and it is going to be 20 1/4. I think I do it this way for two reasons. I think when I was young, the school system didn't know about learning disabilities. You were just a bright kid who didn't apply himself, and smack. So I wound up growing a resentment against mathematics. And I became possibly willfully arithmetically ignorant. But in any case, I still needed to do the work, right? So I came up with all sorts of weird workarounds about doing a calculation without doing the calculation, right? So by doing this, I don't have to worry about my sums being wrong, because if you tell someone he's a dummy long enough, he's going to start to believe it. Of course, I don't believe I'm a dummy at all, and sod them. I wish I could find those old teachers who said I would amount to nothing and rub their faces in it, quite literally. So now, again, I know without making a screw up in a basic math or arithmetical calculation, sums, I know that it's 20 1/4. So I'm going to stop here. My next stage is, because remember, this isn't the apron. This is going to be the apron pleat right here. Here's the front apron over here. So now that I have these two measurements, what was that, 20 1/4, and this is going to be slightly more, whatever a ray line is. I'll look at the sheet in a minute. But now, then I'll lay out my apron here, and I will sew my fringe, which you've seen elsewhere. And then in the next stage, I'll show you how I bring this all together, because, stealer alert, this point isn't going to be at the edge of the apron. It's going to be an inch or so back, about a thumb's width back. So in the next section, I'll show you how using the grid, which you might be able to see on this quilting mat, using this grid, I can compensate so that I can refer to the grid, put the canvas in the right place, put the tartan in the right place, using the grid as a reference, and sew it all together. I've pretty much eliminated the need for the next video, haven't I? But we're going to do it anyway, and probably tomorrow, because it's getting near the time to logically stop and have dinner. Thank you.